What up, what up, what up, what up? Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Cedric from The Glad Live. I hope everybody's having an amazing week. Spend time with loved ones. Spend time with whoever you wanted, friends. Most importantly, I hope that you're learning to spend time with you, because spending time with yourself is probably the most important thing to do. You're worth it. I promise you. And if no one's told you this, I love you. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do I have a topic for you. Yeah. I know I say that every time, but every topic to me, it's real. The reason why I say these is because these are everything that I'm going through and I'm having realizations about. So when I'm having a real, I'm like, whoa, oh my God, I need to talk about that. So this week's topic I want to talk about is how I learned to let people in. Man, let me tell you. A lot of people would always say that, oh my God, yes, I know Cedric. Wrong. I was that person that I let people in to a certain extent, but I never, ever allowed them fully to get close to me. I just talking with a friend about this 2 days ago, and I asked him, how did it feel to become vulnerable with his now husband? For me, I only ever wanted to show my strong side. I never really wanted to show the weak, the not put together side. I would only allow people to know the good things that was happening, kind of what social media is like right now. These images about how great people's lives are. But the reality is that who you are deep down inside? I never really liked looking in people's eyes. When they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, that's exactly how it felt for me. One of the reasons why I avoided looking directly in people's eyes was because I was ashamed. I had so many dark secrets on my soul that I didn't want to share with people. I was scared of what people would think if they got to know who I was down here. Very, very, very lonely experience. When I was growing up, my father was very strict. I didn't have friends come over. I didn't have sleepovers, or I didn't go stay at other people's houses. So I would say from an early age, I didn't know how to really let people in. When people judge, when we sit and we talk about, I don't like how that person's wearing, or when people gossip, we talk about people's problems or what someone's actually going through, that sticks even onto you, so that it makes you feel that, if I'm talking about someone, I wonder what other people are going to talk about me. That drove me not to let people all the way in. A lot of times people look from the outside and think that Cedric was so put together, and on the inside, I was a bleeding mess. I didn't know who I was. Since I didn't know who I was, I didn't know how to let people in. I don't know if you hear my accent right now, and it's interesting, because there are a lot of people who, when I grew up, I was born in Ruislip, England, just on the outside of London. But I was raised in good old New Jersey, Plainfield, New Jersey. If you look on my Facebook profile, I actually have hometown London, because that's always, it kind of felt that's where my heart was. But again, my father's American, my mom's Caribbean, but also has a very strong American accent. When I was 21 years old, I moved back over to the UK with the military. I ended up getting married, yes, to a woman. And I stayed there for 7 years. While I was there, I intentionally started to change my accent. I wanted to fit in. I started saying, I enunciated more. I stayed there for the first time when I moved back for 7 years. When I came back to the US, and by then, it wasn't a facade. My accent, it was kind of a mixture between English and American. Americans would actually say, oh my God, you sound so English. And English people would say, man, you're American. But it was a hybrid. Those things confused me, because I was doing things not for me, but for a facade. To let people just see a side of me. One of the biggest things that started to help me change is working at Warner Brothers. I had so many good colleagues or friends, especially my boss. They showed me that regardless, when they started to understand that I had an addiction, that it was a problem, they didn't turn their backs on me. They didn't fire me. They said to me, we know who you are, Cedric. We want to see the best version of you. Take some time to get yourself together. That was the start for me, allowing people to see who I was, because I was like, wow, they actually care about me. They care about my well-being. For 3 years, I think 3 years in a row, they allowed me to take off 90 days to get myself together. Man, when you have people in your life like that, it starts to alter your perception on the reality that you created. Because the reality that we live is all something that you create. We put up these barriers. We put up these walls because we're so scared to allow people to see who we genuinely are. So instead of letting them see who we are, we create this personality. We create this facade. And for me, when I woke up and I didn't know who I was staring at in the mirror, it's not a nice feeling. When I keep having people tell me, you're awesome. Oh my God, you don't actually need alcohol. People flock to you. I never understood why. Until I started to do the work and to understand that I was disconnected from me. When I started doing that work, forgiving myself, that's when I started to slowly open the door to let people in closer and closer. True story. I was in Union Station and I was waiting for the train to go down to San Diego because we had a shoot down there. I forgot what the shoot was for. And I'm sitting in the station. And this is so true because you can actually go on my Facebook and there's a confirmation about this. And all of a sudden this song just popped into my head. It's the song by Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All. I started hearing the word, and it was like I was hearing these words for the very first time. And tears started to stream down my face. Because I was realizing I wasn't loving myself. The greatest love of all is the love for you. Man, when I started realizing these things, it's like, wow, who am I? What have I done to the little boy that I used to know? In order to let people in, you need to learn who you are. And that's what I started to do. And the more I started to do it, I did affirmations. I will sit and look at myself in the mirror. And I'm like, wow. And it's not always about the appearance, even though I do think I'm very handsome. But it's more about you inside, reconnecting with that soul and realizing how amazing you are. People think that the beauty is about what's on the outside, and the reality is how many times have you met someone and they're super beautiful on the outside, but they're not a nice person? A lot of times it's just pain as well. And that's what I had to understand is it's not about what you see on the outside, it's about you here, Cedric. It's about this heart. The one thing I had always was a very big heart, but I was just too scared to share it because I'd been hurt so often. So the more I started doing the work and healing, it's hard. There's a lot of crying. There's a lot of realization. And I had to shut out everybody because sometimes it's not about what they think, it's about what I think. And the more I started to do that work and started to heal, the easier it became for me to start sharing who I genuinely was inside. I mean, literally, before we started having this video, and me and my friend, he does my videos for me, but one of the things that we love, we sit down and we talk about life, and we share some very intimate information with each other. When he first met me 4 years ago, I wouldn't share any of this stuff with him. He didn't even get close like that. I actually was, oh, this is Carrie's friend. But now, when we share, it's about us. It's about that connection. And it's so authentic and it's so sincere that it grows from that. And people can tell. People can tell when you just have these walls up and you don't want to let them in. So when people start to distance themselves from you, it's only because you don't want to let people. But when you start to take those walls down, people respond positively. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience. So how I live myself now is I do not worry about what people think about me. I can't. Do I get a fleeting thought? Yes. But I shake that thought out right in my head because I know I'm an awesome human being. And I love me. And I tell me that every single day now. So now, my connections are so authentic, so sincere that it doesn't feel as scary to let people get close to me because the people who are in my circle and the people who are close, they don't judge me. I ain't got no money, so what? Hey, I got you. You know, if I'm sleeping in my car, yo, come stay at my house. That's how people who I roll with are in my life. So of course, I just continue to let people get closer to me. So I hope this helps. You know, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching my videos, because me sharing this stuff, it's therapy for me. It's healing. And I hope that these stories help you connect with who you are inside. If there's any topic that you feel that you want to ask, hey, how did you deal with this? Please put it in the comments put it in the comments below. Because as I continue to do this, I'm getting closer and closer to my glad life. Thanks a lot, guys. I love you. Peace and love. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week.